Hi friends, it's Deep Basu and welcome to my channel Think Deep. I am back once again and I'm going to review the latest anthology on Netflix called Ray. I'm sure most of you are really looking forward to watch it and I'm dead sure most of you have already watched it. So after watching the trailer of Ray, I was not very convinced. I found it very unrealistic. I couldn't connect as an audience, but I was still looking forward to watch because the idea behind this latest anthology is three contemporary filmmakers: Abhishek Chaubey, who's one of my favorites, Srijit Mukherjee, also my favorite, and Vasan Bala, also a director who has great potential. So these three contemporary filmmakers will have their own unique take on the short stories written by the legendary director Satyajit Ray. So I was really looking forward to watch and see how it turns out. And by the way, let's not be unfair because most of my friends are comparing their work to Satyajit Ray's work. That's unfair. So main concept behind, as I told you, so three contemporary filmmakers will have their own unique take on these short stories. So let's not be unfair and compare them to Satyajit Ray. You can't compare any film director to Satyajit Ray. It's going to be unfair. And I love the idea behind it. So, and I believe it's an ode, it's an homage to Satyajit Ray, and this is how they're going to celebrate 100 years of Satyajit Ray. That's what I felt. Means I felt it's a good initiative by Netflix. So as an audience, I couldn't keep myself or hold myself back. So I finally watched it now. It's a 4 part anthology. Anthology means 4 parts. Stupid of me. And each story is around 1 hour. So if you have 4 hours to spare this weekend, do give it a try. So three different directors: Srijit Mukherjee, Abhishek Chaubey, and Vasan Bala. So if you ask me which one was my favorite, it's going to be very difficult. Not because all four of them were super. No, it's a bit of a mixed bag, and I like some aspects of every film. So it's very difficult for me to declare which one was the best. And all three filmmakers have done a good job, a very fair job, and I love their interpretations. So let me go from one story to other. So the first story is Hangama Hai Kyun Barpa, directed by the very talented Abhishek Chaubey, and it has talented actors like Manoj Bajpayee and Gajraj Rao. So the story of Hangama Hai Kyun Barpa is basically it's a period film, by the way. It's the only period film in this entire anthology. So this Manoj Bajpayee's character is a very famous, legendary, popular ghazal singer, and Gajraj Rao's character Aslam Beg, he's a retired wrestler. So the film begins with an what it's just a rendezvous. It's so both of them basically bump into a long train journey, and they start chatting, and there's a lot of humor, there's a good conversation. So it reminds you of the era where there was cassette tapes, long train journeys, never-ending conversations. So definitely it'll give you a nice nostalgia because going back to the era of 1990s, 80s, where you were, when train journeys used to be so precious. You used to meet a unknown, a stranger. You used to talk, you used to chat. There were no cell phones. There were cassette tapes. You used to talk about a lot of things, and there were no smartphones to look into. All of you, we used to only spend time chatting, even if it was a stranger. So this story was pretty, definitely I walked down the memory lane. It reminded me of my memorable train journeys. So basically the story, I will not give out much, is basically this ghazal singer meets this old acquaintance, Gajraj Rao, and they have a nice conversation on a train journey. And there is a past. There is a very strange past which is behind them. And how this past is revealed, you get to know, and there's a twist towards the end. And Hangama Hai Kyun Barpa is, I think, a song by Mr. Ghulam Ali. I think so. Means I'm not very sure. So, and there's a twist towards the end. You need to watch it. I won't reveal much details, but overall, it's a very well-directed film. Though it's a period film, I love the visuals and I love the way Abhishek Chaubey has used great dialogues, the nostalgia, the visuals, and performance by Gajraj Rao and Manoj Bajpayee. My God, talented actors in one frame. It's going to be a delight to watch, and definitely it's high on performance. So this is the first story, Hangama Hai Kyun Barpa, and I think it's based on Satyajit Ray's short story, Borin Bhomik's ailment. What's the ailment? I'll not tell you. So the second story is Spotlight. So I'm not going in an order, chronicle order. So second story is Spotlight. Spotlight is directed by the talented director Vasant Bala. Vasant Bala previously directed Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota, a superhero film. You need to watch it. He's a talented director. He has great potential. His debut film was Peddlers, which I don't think has released, but if you guys watch it, it's an amazing film. So Vasant Bala's basically Spotlight. It has the talented Harshvardhan Kapoor and the very talented Chandan Roy Sanyal. So Harshvardhan Kapoor plays a very big star, a superstar who is proud. The way superstars are, very proud, arrogant. His good friend and manager is Chandan Roy Sanyal. So he goes to Rajasthan to shoot for a film, and he discovers that there is a god woman called Didi who is even more popular than him. So that's where the story begins. A superstar who's so proud, who knows he's unbeatable. He's right now going through a phase where he's not creatively satisfied. He wants to do something which will satisfy him creatively. But suddenly, when he goes to Rajasthan, he discovers that there's a god woman called Didi who is a bigger star than him. And that gives him a lot of complex. He's unable to fathom that how can a god woman called Didi be so popular? I thought I was the most popular person in this own earth. And I'm the biggest superstar. How can be a god woman can beat me? So that's the second story of Spotlight. I think the short story also was called something Spotlight. And Chandan Roy Sanyal has done a great job. He's so smooth, he's so natural. Harshvardhan Kapoor, for a change, I saw a lot of potential. If you have seen AK versus KK, you get to see that side in him. And I think if you tap Harshvardhan Kapoor even more and you give him good projects, this actor is going to really shine. So overall performance is good. And Radhika Madan has played the character Didi. She has done it very well. She's a good actor. And she was initially part of Vasant's film Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota. So this is the story of Spotlight. So what really happens? What does this superstar Arora, his name is I think Karan Arora, what does he do and how does he deal with it? And there is a twist towards the end. You need to watch to find out. So the third story I'll come is Bhairupia. Bhairupia has been directed by Sujit Mukherjee, and the main protagonist in Bhairupia is the very talented KK Menon. So Bhairupia, the story is quite interesting. So KK Menon, he has a mundane life. He is an employee of a company, a very mediocre lifestyle. In his work also is quite mediocre. He is sick of his life and tired of his life. His boss picks on him. His employees make fun of him. Everyone just picks on him and makes fun of him. So suddenly this KK Menon, the character, Indrashis, he inherits a makeup box from his grandmother who has expired. And with the help of this makeup box, he basically, he transforms himself every day into a new face, prosthetics. Apparently his grandmother was into prosthetics and she used to work in the movies. So when he inherits this makeup box, so he, with the help of this makeup box, he transforms into a new face every day and takes revenge and goes against his tormentors. So that's the story of Bhairupia. So overall, I think KK Menon stands out, and he's a delight to watch. Him in different faces, different dialects, different voice modulations. And Bhairupia is an interesting story, by the way, and it's quite scary at certain levels. Birita Bagh is also part of this film, and she has done a good role. She has done a good job, but somewhat I felt she deserved more scope. Dibendu has done a good job, and very small role, but has a good impact. And KK Menon, as I said, he is definitely a delight to watch. Now coming to the last story is Forget Me Not. It is also directed by Sujit Mukherjee. So Forget Me Not is it's based on Satyajit Ray's short story. I think Bipin Chaudhary's memory lapse. So Ali Fazal is the main protagonist of this film, and Ali Fazal is a successful entrepreneur. He's a partner of a very big firm, and he has a good memory. So all of a sudden, one night, a girl approaches Ali Fazal, and Ali Fazal is a South Indian Nair. So one night, one girl played brilliantly by Oninita Bose approaches Ali Fazal, and she tells him that she tells him about a past they had, a moment they had, about their affair. And Ali Fazal doesn't seem to remember. A person with a good memory doesn't seem to remember her, nor their affair. So now the movie, basically, a man with such a good memory begins to forget things. So is it dementia? Is he suffering from dementia, or there's something more sinister? So it's an interesting watch. I love the way the entire story unfolds. How we get, attached to this character of Ali Fazal. He's a South Indian, and I love the way he is portrayed. He's one actor who needs to be tapped. He has great potential, and his South Indian accent, the way he has, somewhat balanced it out very well. So what happens towards the end? As I said, is he suffering from dementia, or it's something sinister? And Sweta Basu Prasad is also part of this film. She is definitely a delight to watch. She also one of the most underrated, talented actors we have in this industry. Sweta Basu Prasad, I remember watching, I think, Tashkent Files. She was superb. And even in this film, Forget Me Not, Sweta Basu Prasad has done a great job. And overall, the performances by Ali Fazal also something he really stands out. So there are two films, Forget Me Not and Bhairupi, has been directed by Sijin Mukherjee and written by Shiraj Ahmed. And the other two, Vasant Bala and Abhishek Chaubey, has written by Niren Bhatt. So overall, the stories are, you can give it a watch. It's not a bad watch, but I think it's a mixed bag. And if you ask me, I'll say I liked few aspects of every film. I can't declare that this movie was the best or stood out. I think according to me, none of the stories stood out or was remarkable. Every director had his own interpretation and has done a fair job. But somewhat I felt the interest factor was not so much, because certain times I felt bored. I often lost interest. Some of the stories midway I lost interest. I got diverted, I got distracted. So somewhat that getting a hooked factor is missing in all these four stories. And sometimes I felt few things were, could have been edited. The pace could have been faster. So overall, it's a good watch. This anthology is a good watch, but I feel it's still at a level, I would say it's average to above average. It's something which I'll not watch it again. The characters are very well performed. The actors are very well performed. So I think if I have to take home something, is the characters of, I think, Manoj Bajpayee. I liked Ali Fazal. I liked Gajraj Rao. I liked KK Menon. So certain aspects of the performance I do take back home. And because the performers and the performance, the characters were quite challenging. So that way I think is high on performance. Anything else I'm forgetting? The camera work, the production design, everything is quite very well made. The visuals are quite good. So definitely these three filmmakers have given a very modern take on Satyajit Ray's short stories. And that's it. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. So guys, I'll be back again. And have a good weekend. And I'll be back soon. Do subscribe my channel, Think Deep Basu on YouTube. And you can view my reviews on my Instagram profile as well. So guys, happy weekend. Good day.